He played too much.
Jokester, man. Alright, we good.
I'm just trying to be me, and it's all you gon' get.
Good on the
What we talking about?
We're talking about birth certificate. Do you all want to touch the Oscars since that was last weekend?
Get a small talk. We try to,
You love me, really be fake.
who's sitting over here today?
Counting that money and saying, I'm saying these songs will come.
I'll take them. I ain't gonna eat them right now on the air, but I'll take them. It feels like my favorite candy, y'all. And the candy bin. Quick stuff.
I'm in love with you.
If our people could if we could be cured of our slave mentality that was indoctrinated into us during slavery, we would realize that just as a white man can do these things for himself and his kind, we can get together in unity and harmony and do the same thing for ourselves and our kind.
Sleeping on the black, same thing as the kind of feel. Showers that was good and good smart.
And I knew it in my head. Like, I know some people be like, yo, he's late. I left early today. But I didn't know it was going to be trash.
You need to leave a little early.
I left early today, but I didn't know it was going to be trash today. I'm like, what the hell?
Right here be the scariest. Been digging for years, it's easy for them to bury us. We already through it, dirt on ourselves like mad times. Want good results, but we follow bad signs. Shit is crazy. White teeth, black nines. We chasing white checks, holding black minds. Looking for the cash and they ask why I got more of the story. Every story got a dark side. Give me your minds. Say you want a better life, give me your minds. Instead, you should hold strong through the hard times. More of the story, every story got a dark side. Give me your minds. Say you want a better life, give me your minds. 30 cents that represent the hard times. He a grown man, but he can't do his copyright. And his mama's on that she got a job to shop right. A single parent is raising the 2 kids, baby dad doing like 2 beds for 2 kids. The truth is, he'll never wanna do shit. Mama got a job, he show up in the industry. Loving the depths of the days of his energy. Retrograde, she wondering what kind of industry was said. God was never in the plan. My woman came raising little boys to a man. And it got so hard to person with a soft heart. She was one of the stars, she just playing her part. Disrespecting the house, the boys running it out and it's struggling. His ass taking the trash out. By the way it's going, he gonna be assed out. Just another young tragedy, living with no scratch. The moral of the story, every story got a dark side. Give me your minds. Say you want a better life, give me your minds. Instead, we should hold strong through the hard times. Moral of the story, every story got a dark side. Give me your minds. Say you want a better life, give me your minds. 30 things that represent the hard times. Where they come in this and the roots of this. How they get caught up in this foolishness. How could we ever be cool with this? We should be thinking on improving this. Where they come in this and the rules of this.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to go in here like
How do we ever be cool with this?
I should be thinking on full song. I would have this play you so we put the song on that. The main thing is the mic. This one stays on all the time. And the mic's on live right now. The mic that goes live. Alright, we are here, plugged in. Gotta turn this down so we get an echo effect thing going on. Alright. Plugged in with your man DJ Butta-fingaz. The plug. We got the interns in the building.
Hi.
So you already know we gotta get our small talk on. How's everybody's week?
It went well. It went by fast.
It did.
I feel like I just seen you guys.
We together on Wednesday. I have classes on Wednesday. We got an intern / DJ in the building now.
DJ Scarlett.
I thought I was gonna get fired whenever people were blowing my Instagram. I was like, yo, you play music for the fans, you out here giving DJ lessons and stuff, whatever. But, you know what I mean?
They're gonna appreciate it later on.
Right. I mean, I'm good. I actually got booked. I'm back on Fridays now. I mean, shout out to the DJ that got fired last night. Yeah, I'm actually on spot. You know what I mean? So I'm there every Friday for right now. I don't know how long it's gonna last, but I'm there Wednesdays and Fridays, his and hers. You know what I mean? Shout out to my man, Sal. I definitely know that owner, man. He's definitely a good dude. Gave me a good call yesterday. So yeah, I mean, anytime there's money to be made, I'm there.
Yeah.
I mean, but now he's a good business owner. Period. Like, I just like his vision for what he wants to do with the venue and everything. But yeah, y'all was out there mixing it up.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yo,
no,
DJ,
listen, let me tell you how I was. We got a radio in my bathroom, so I was, exfoliating my skin or whatever. And I was sitting there killing the beat with like the DJ thing. I was
y'all gonna start getting into it.
I was peeping little things like, all right, I like how he mixed that. So it definitely, I wasn't the best, but I learned something.
Right.
So thank you. It was exciting.
I went back to work and I told the guy, because the guy at my job, he a DJ. I was like, yeah, you know that song, that's 24 BBMs. He was like, dang. I was like, yeah, I was mixing last night.
It's BPM. Beats per minute.
Yeah,
per minute.
BBM.
I mean, but she was in there doing her thing, like she was almost a professional at it. She had the face.
Yeah, she was feeling it.
She was trying to scratch.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, she got me tripping, yo. But now we had a good time Wednesday, man.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? I definitely cannot do that again, though.
I
woke up Thursday, and I had to go into the office. So drinking and smoking a hookah, like on that Thursday, like I had a meeting. I don't know if y'all know what Toastmasters is, but I'm part of the Toastmasters squad at my job, whatever. Where it's like it helps you basically do speeches and stuff in front of people, whatever. So like I had to go in the office for that because and I actually had a volunteer position that day, so I had to get up and speak and stuff. So yo, I was hurting Thursday morning. Like damn, usually I was just like I don't work from home, but I had to go in. So yeah, I can't do the hookah and drinking. Shout out to the Palm Song Peach though, definitely had me right that night.
That stuff is strong.
It was good. Though. I ain't mix it. I mean, yeah, it was good.
I was joking.
She not a brown girl.
Shout out to Dawn too, my bartender there. She was hooking me up. I don't know what drink she made us.
They was good,
but they was good. Yeah, I mean, it takes a liquor, but yeah, we was on point. But yeah, we gonna get into the talk. Our blogger, Miss China D, has an interesting topic for us today.
Yes, definitely. Hi everybody, it's China D, and you can follow me on Instagram at _CHY and then ADEE to keep up with all of our talks. So today we're going to talk about baby daddies and why it's important to have one. So as if things weren't already hard for single mothers, the state of Illinois issued a bill stating if a father is not listed on a birth certificate to a newborn child, the birth certificate cannot be issued to the child. The mother will not receive any assistance, and that's as far as welfare or WIC. And the mother has 30 days to identify the child, or she has to use like a family member. DNA proof, it can't be your cousin, your fake cousin or anything, to sign the birth certificate, and they have to be financially stable. Now, so this could ruin the child's future because it's important to have a birth certificate for your social security card, school enrollment, driver's license, social services as far as marriage, proof of relationship to your parents. That comes with child support services and inheritances and eligibility for benefits as far as survivor's benefits if your parent dies. So my question to you guys today is, do we think that's a way to hold African Americans back, knowing that this is an issue within our community?
All right, before we even get into that, can you go over the guidelines again? What has to be?
Oh, they have to find the father. They have to have the father sign.
So it has to be blood.
Yes, blood, DNA.
And then they have to be financially
stable.
So if they say the real biological father is not financially stable, does it mean he can't sign it?
I mean, he can still sign it. But, they saying that you can, say if you had your uncle sign it, you can hit your uncle with child support if you like.
I mean, that would be something that they would have to.
It doesn't make sense, though, right? Yeah, they would have to agree to it. But to me, it doesn't make sense. So what if the father passes away? Like before my brother was born, my dad died a few months before he was born. So my dad wasn't there to physically sign. But I didn't know they physically signed it anymore. I thought that they, it's all, yeah. So it doesn't make sense to me, but this is definitely a bill that's been issued. I mean, they've been talking about it, Wendy Williams, the real. This is something everybody's been talking about, so it's going into effect in Illinois.
Hey, y'all comment on this first before I get my input on it.
Yeah, I think it's to stop Chicago.
I was thinking that too.
Chicago. What's going on in Chicago?
No, just everything in general. Chirac, because the black population there and how gang violence and everything like that, they think that this would hold us back more. Because I mean, I was talking to Ayana this morning. You guys saw there was something on CNN about this hero, and they pulled up a stat that said 50% of African Americans grew up without a father figure in their life. So I just think it's to that, it's a testament to that. Now that we're becoming aware and we're becoming more self-aware, I think they're putting that staple on it, to stop us from growing and stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, I don't think it's definitely gonna hold us back. I think it probably could move us forward if this is right, because right now, I think you had on your post on Instagram, whatever, it's gonna make you, one, be careful who you lay with.
Yeah.
And then as well, hopefully, even if you're still out there, being a thought or whatever the word is today, you're gonna be using your prophylactics. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it could help us, because right now, like you said, there's a high percentage of people that don't have fathers in their life or whatever, whether it's daughters or sons. We both need both parents. You know what I mean? They don't have to be together, but they both need both sides in their life. So I think
what? That brings me to Sierra, Russell Wilson, and Future.
I seen you post that too.
What do we think about that? Do we think Russell Wilson is overstepping his boundaries being with Baby Future?
Why would he be overstepping his
Are
boundaries?
they're married,
right? No, they're not married yet.
Yeah, I think
But
that's
Sierra
what
is
it
allowing it. Future, I don't know if he has say or not, but Sierra is raising that child. That's her man.
So when is it okay to let your spouse come in and meet your child and see how they connect? If you are thinking about potentially being with this person for the rest of your life, I don't see how
I don't see nothing wrong. Being with by yourself though. I don't know about that, but I know I seen the joint. You said your dad was in the back too, so yeah, I don't see nothing wrong with that situation. But if he was totally alone with him and that's not her husband,
then
that's still a violation. Like, you know what I mean? To me, I don't know. This is maybe this is the guy's perspective side on that side, whatever.
What
but
do you think?
If the baby is not with Sierra, why wasn't he it's a he, right?
Yes.
All right, why isn't he with Future?
Because he don't take care of his kids.
Right.
That's
So
why.
he's dope. So he's like a devil. That's why he had a problem with it,
right?
Yeah, he's doing that for the publicity and the news
okay.
feeds because he looked like a dummy, so he want to get back at her. He don't take care of nobody's kids.
He sure
okay.
don't.
Well,
He
didn't have
Future
one
is
at
the
home
kind
then.
of father that's thinking he can win their love with gifts.
And money, no.
And I mean, I see people like that all the time. You think, all right, my mom loved me because she worked me this and that. But later on down the line, you all messed up in your mind because all you got is nice clothes and this and that. But you ain't have no stability.
No common sense,
Yeah.
no home training. You can't
None of that.
have a conversation.
And I'm just also trying to figure out when did it become a bad thing for a young black boy to have two father figures.
I mean, I had two fathers.
And like I
I
said in the
had my
post,
dad and then I had my stepfather.
Right.
And before, I'm pretty sure even before my stepfather actually met my dad, I met my stepfather before. So I think it's actually a good thing to have multiple father figures to get multiple different perspectives.
but like I said before, it takes a village to raise a child. Why
It
not?
does. But I can see, we had a conversation about something similar to this before, but I mean, at the end of the day, you don't want to step on somebody's toes too.
But how can he step on his toes?
No. In this situation
Right.
particularly, that's cool. But I'm saying, if Future was there and involved in his life, he actually has the money because he does a lot of songs and he writes for a lot of people and all that. So he obviously has the money. That's not the issue. But if he was active in his son's life, I think the other dude should fall back to a degree, because it's like you don't want the stepdad to overstep his position as his father.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, you gotta still play your position. I'm not saying he shouldn't be involved, but at the end of the day, you still gotta let his father do what he's supposed to do. I don't want my son being raised by another man, totally like teaching how to ride his bike and all that, because then it's gonna make me look bad as a father at the end of the day, whether it's gonna be my pride issue or just how my son might look at me when I grow up.
Right.
I don't want that. If I'm involved, now you saying Future's not involved, fall back. You won't have nothing to do. Sip your tea, write your rhymes, drink your drink, whatever you're doing. You had nothing to say in that. But in
so
in
what
regular
is
situation,
the stepfather's position if
Right,
the
what are the
other father
boundaries?
is in the life of the child? Like, what is he supposed to do? Just sit
He's
there
supposed to
and watch him grow?
Nah, he's still supposed to be active, but I'm saying like you. First of all, that's it.
So what's the cut?
If you're gonna marry
don't do this,
whoever,
don't
whatever, y'all as men, they should sit down and have a conversation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yo, let's meet. It shouldn't be on no type of beef situation. You're with my ex right now. I understand that you're gonna be in the household with my kids, whatever, blah blah blah. But there's certain things I don't want you beating my this is things you gotta discuss. Whatever it is, but you know certain things. I don't want you to do this. I wanna teach him how to do this, whatever. You can play ball with him and all that, but if we're gonna do certain things or you wanna try to teach him things, let me know about it. Ask me, respect me as a man and let me know, is this all right for me to do this? You know what I'm saying? I think he should at least have that benefit for him. Whatever, not for future, but I'm saying in a situation where it's a stepfather in a biological father situation.
Well, Baby Future look like he's having a ball.
Right.
Man,
As long as
Does he really care though?
as long as the child is happy, I think that's what really matters. Like, so if the father's in the life and the stepdad is also in the life doing certain things, if that baby's happy, then step your game up, Dad.
We did this last week, and as soon as I switched it around, y'all opinions changed. So let's say right now, your daughter, right, is living with your ex, right? He gets married or whatever, gets in a new relationship. Do you want her doing all your mommy duties? You want to feel no type of way about that?
Now this is a situation
No,
because
I'm
I'm about to ask you, because I'm about to answer this. This is a situation that I went through with my son's dad and his daughter's mom. Okay. So I threw a birthday party for my son. Their birthdays are 3 days apart. So the little girl, she didn't, that was my first time meeting her. She didn't have no type of birthday party, nothing. She didn't get any gifts. I went out, I bought her a cake, bought her outfit or whatever, and I made my son's birthday party and my brother's birthday party and her a part of that party as well, because she didn't have anything.
I understand.
It was an issue.
I'm gonna tell you why it's an issue.
Like, I don't know why, because if I feel as though I'm looking at it as this, I'm not trying to take mom's spot. But you're my son's sister. Right. So I have a respect to that. I'm not going to let you sit around and suffer. My brother's having fun. Your birthday 3 days away.
Let me explain why that probably was a problem to her. Did you communicate with her and say, I wanted to do this?
I don't communicate with the girl because I don't like drama. I communicated with the father.
Somebody should have communicated with her and tried to make her a part.
And I believe that was, no. I didn't. I told her to invite her. I did everything I was supposed to do. Okay. Now, I told him everything that I was going to do. If he went back and didn't tell her, I still felt as though I didn't want to leave the little girl out. I'm not going to wait for y'all grown people to make a decision. You're taking too long. By the time y'all do that, the party going to be over. So I'm just going to include her. And that's the decision I had to make.
And for her, like that's what I'm saying. It goes to stepping on her toes. I'm not saying that what you did was wrong at all, but it's a catch-22 at the end of the day, because she should have been involved in that. Because at the end, I don't know how old this little girl is, but say she's old enough to be aware of that situation. She might look at her mom like, you know what I mean? Like if she's in that age range,
and
I understand. She might look like.
That's another thing I did. I said, don't tell her this is from me. Tell her it's from you and her mom. That is another thing that I put out there because I didn't want to step on her toes. I just wanted the little girl to have fun.
So was her mother there?
No, she didn't come because he didn't tell her.
Yeah, that's bad communication on his part.
Exactly. So I feel like I did my part. It's like you said, as long as you communicate. So I did my part, and I put the money out. I stepped back and said, y'all can claim that. I don't care about that. My thing is, as long as that baby's happy in their relationship, it should be cool.
All right, so what is the mom's reason that she couldn't do it? Is it financial stability situation?
It was financial.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not always, like, I can see if she just didn't want to do nothing, she's that type of mom, but if it's like she might have financial hardships or something, you can't blame her for that. So again, you know, if it goes to the daughter being at that age where she's aware, that might make her look bad. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying.
That's another reason why I say you claim that. Like, I look at all that. I look at all the perspectives, like, if that was me. But that's what I always said. And I even took it to my family, like, and they said the same thing. Just make sure you put out there, that's from your mom or your dad or whatever. I ain't do none of that, but they told me give it to. That's
how old is the little girl?
She's 3 now.
Okay,
She's a
so
little
she's
girl,
not-
but
yeah,
I'm
she's
like,
not
she
old.
understands certain things, but I'm
Right.
like, that, yeah.
Shut
Alright.
I ain't doing nothing.
No, I don't think so.
I'm
I'm not that big of a person. One. And two, I'm going to have my child with me. My child will live with me, not their father. I mean, not that the father is not a good father, but I just feel, I don't know. I just feel like.
I mean, it don't even have to be where they live with you or live with the father permanently.
But
You could
if
just been,
his
you know what I mean,
new
y'all got
woman
shared
did
visitation
something
or whatever. Yeah.
my child.
I think it should be, as
I'm over
adults,
her-
y'all should both be able to communicate and say, like, look, let's either do this as a dual effort.
Yeah.
Or, you know what I mean, if you want to do something together, but don't overshine me, whatever, because at the end of the day, I still want her to know that I am her parent. You feel what I'm saying? Like, y'all, I think both sides should be able to come together collectively and do something. So it's like, it's love all together. You got both your parents here, and you got the other step parent that's here, that's going to be in
Step
your life
parent,
as
because
well.
I'm going to have a man.
All right, so before we get into the highlights and everything, whatever, I want to get back into the child support thing or the birth certificate thing. So what do we decide now? I don't think everybody answered that.
No, I was thinking, I'm like, so what if, so we got young girls out here who have the kids, they say they don't have that father figure in their life before this bill passes.
Right.
They're out there having sex with these guys. They don't know anything about the law. They're not paying attention about that. Now listen, they don't have it. They don't know that. So they can't, how are you going to say to this child, oh, you don't, you was messing with this guy. You don't know him. So you can't have a birth certificate for your child. She's a little dumb girl. Like, she's not paying attention to these details. So you gotta think about that too. Like, it is gonna affect a lot of people.
Yeah.
But
in
it's
a
gonna
good
be
way or a bad
justice.
way?
A good way and a bad way too, some people. 50-50 for me. I don't like it
understand
though.
how people out here just laying down with anybody.
Because
and
there's
they come
kids
down
out
to-
here that don't have any structure as well. Like, I think we just see the beauty of life and we don't think about people and their hardships. Kids do go through a lot of stuff. And they turn to these guys out here and they look fabulous and they like, oh, comfort, love. So they go to them. And it turned out to be something else. And then you got this bullcrap.
But why you gotta sleep with 6 of them?
Because they don't know no better. Everybody ain't got common sense. Like, they're for real, that's certain. And I know this issue because me and my dad don't have a good relationship. And it's like, we live in the same house and we don't speak. And it's like, so when I was younger, I used to fall in love. If it wasn't for my brothers, I swear I would be one of those girls. But my brothers stepped in and be like, no, we're not doing that. So if it wasn't for my brothers, I think I would be looking for love everywhere. I had it from my mom,
So
but it's a father's
father
love.
figures.
Right.
Of course we need father
But when you
figures.
can't find your father?
But that's what I'm saying. That's where the issue come in, where these girls is a domino effect. It's gonna keep happening until they let
I
us
think
step up.
it's not going to perfect the situation,
No.
but I think it will help the situation. Because you had that situation, like you said, the father dies before the pregnancy or whatever, you know what I mean? But how often is that going to happen? Not saying it's not going to happen
Well,
at
in
all or
Chicago
whatever,
and Illinois is a lot.
I mean, we're talking about one state, though. This is going to be a national bill, right?
I'm not sure. They only spoke about it passing in Illinois.
Oh,
So,
okay, just in Chicago.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think I'm more for it because I think hopefully it would get people to wake up and be conscious about, I can't be out here smutting and sleeping with everybody and just think I'm not going to get pregnant. Or if you're going to do that, you're going to look at the right dudes or whatever. I mean, it's not even just the chicks, too. I think the dudes should be looking at it, too. Because now, I don't know if you're going to be mandated to kind of sign it, but then, you know what I mean? It might be a good thing, too, because if now they got to come in and prove that they're the father or whatever, then that's going to be a lot more DNA tests that got to be given, where you got a lot of people that aren't really fathers of these babies or whatever that's going to have to step up, too. So I think it's going to do more good than bad.
We'll see if it plays out, but I'm against it.
Yeah, you against it too, either? They don't like it. It's like, we don't care.
I'm just thinking of the kids, like, so what you're saying is technically you can't be a United States citizen without your birth certificate.
So
Or your social.
You don't get nothing.
You can't get a social without.
So I can't go
Yeah.
to school because they give you hell.
Yeah, I said all
I can't
that.
get my
So what do they
shots
do with
to
these
go to
people
school.
that's not gonna have a birth
Exactly.
certificate?
This is why it's overruling.
They're
That's not
illegal.
what we're not looking at.
They're
like,
illegal, technically.
Where do
Yeah,
we
it
get
gotta-
kicked
it gotta
out of the
be- it gotta
country if
be
you're illegal?
something behind that, yo. It gotta be something
That's
behind
what
that.
I'm
I can't
talking
just
about.
see him.
School enrollment, everything.
Right, it's gonna
That's
knock
your
down
right.
the community.
I feel that, but I can't see them being like they're not gonna get like I don't know if they're gonna just on to the
I
government
didn't
or
see
something. Whatever,
anything.
but
Trump is running for president. This state is crap.
yeah, I heard some
This
stuff
is
like I
crap.
don't
Not
want to
this
get
state,
into it
this
right
is
now,
crap.
but I done heard there's a couple of bills that's being passed right now like that. Police can do. I heard that they're wrong.
They don't even gotta wear the cameras or something.
I heard that it's going to be
illegal
illegal now to start filming.
Yeah, filming.
Cops, whatever. Like you can get arrested for that.
Well, arrest me because I'm filming it. If I see
It's a
something
lot
that
of
ain't
stuff.
right,
I heard they just started
filming
to
it.
pass the bill where they can actually search and frisk you without any probable cause now,
Exactly.
whatever. Like it's a lot of bills that's being passed that we not knowing about,
And
whatever.
then
that's
a lot of
under
people
cover,
not
so.
paying attention to
Exactly.
it as well. They're not studying up on their laws and their rights.
Right.
So we really do.
We're being distracted by the election. That's what it
It's a lot of
is.
distractions.
I think it's distractions in our music. It's distractions everywhere. We're
People don't know
not
how to zoom
paying
in and
attention
paying
to what's
attention.
important and what can possibly save our lives eventually. We just not paying attention to any of these things.
Right. Well, we're going to get into the artist highlights and the events of the week, whatever. We're going to bring our guests on and we're going to get back into this conversation. I feel it's a good conversation. I want to see what the ladies have, what their opinions are on the situation. But for our events for the week, we have the Pass the Mic and Hookah Wednesdays. It's the Open Mic Wednesdays at His and Hers Hookah Lounge, 216 South Street, Philadelphia, PA, 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. Free admission all night, no cover or registration fees, and parking is free on Wednesdays on South Street. So y'all don't have to worry about anything. Bring a little bit of money to smoke and drink though. I mean hookah. Yeah. I'm not promoting cigarette smoking or any other smoking, although I have no wrong with anything wrong with the other type of smoking. But I'm not promoting that. Anyway, we have Hip Hop Sundays going down tomorrow as well. It's a Beauty and the Beast competition, not competition, but it's a Beauty and the Beast event. Sunday, March 6th. It starts at 7 p.m. The address is 5118 Sansom Street, Philadelphia, PA. Maximum Level Lounge. The headliner is OBH Razor. Admission is only $7. That's for everybody. If you want to perform, it's $7 for you to get in, and that's all you got to pay. No registration fees. And the cool thing about this, all ages are welcome. I don't know if there's a limit on that though, because it is Sunday, and I mean, some of the people that I know that are probably gonna be here, like OBH Razor. I don't know if I would want my kids under 18 being there, whatever. But yeah, come down if you want to perform tomorrow night. Again, that's at Maximum Level Lounge, 5118 Sansom Street. Starts at 7 p.m. We also got Chronic Signing Party and B-Day Bash. That's also at Skyview Lounge, 216 South Street, Philadelphia, PA. I will be DJing this event. This is a BYOB event. That doesn't stand for Bring Your Own Beer or Bottle or anything. That's actually the name of the company, which is Build Your Own Brand. Shout out to my man, LaCar Hamilton. That's actually, I guess he's managing the artist Chronic, whatever. So make sure y'all come out. That's Friday, March 11th. Skyview Lounge, 216 South Street, Philadelphia, PA. And last, which I believe the ladies are a part of, we got the Philly Lift Your Voice finale next Sunday, right?
Yeah,
Next
that's
Sunday.
March 13th.
March 13th, Northwest Creative Arts, 45 East Church Lane in Philadelphia, PA. 11 singers still?
Yeah.
Yes, it's still 11 singers.
11 singers still competing for $1,000. And this is also sponsored by Beauty and the Beast. So make sure y'all come out. We have our Artist of the Week, or actually Artist of the Week. We're playing some new music from Dej Loaf. We got a song called Hey There featuring, we were just talking about, Future. We got a new song called from Jadena called Knickers, which I actually like. And we got our two independent artists, Jay Justin. His song is called One Night. And my man Trell Mack, which you just heard on our C-Mill show at the end of the day, is called I Hate These Rappers. So we're going to get into that artist highlights. So we're going to come back. We got both of our guests in the building, Miss Sonya, and we got Killa the Poet in the building. So make sure y'all stay plugged in. Let's go. All right, we are back. We're plugged in. We got our guests in the building. I just heard new music though from Dej Loaf, Jadena, Jay Justin, and Trell Mack. Get this, I hate this echo thing still. All right. And again, I just want to go over the events real quick for the week. Once again, we got our Pass the Mic and Hookah Wednesdays at His and Hers Hookah Lounge, 216 South Street, Philadelphia, PA. Again, that's free admission, no cover, no registration, and free parking on Wednesdays on South Street. We got Hip Hop Sundays starting tomorrow. Starts at 7 p.m. It's at Maximum Level Lounge, 5118 Sansom Street, featuring OBH Razor. Admission is $7, no registration fees for that, and all ages are welcome. We also got Chronic's Signing Party and B-Day Bash. That's Friday, March 11th, 8 p.m. at Skyview Lounge, or Skyview Hookah Lounge, 216 South Street, Philadelphia, PA. 18 to enter, 21 to drink. Music by me and my man DJ Parquet. And then we also have Fully Lit Your Voice finale Sunday, March 13th. Starts at 5 p.m. and that's at Northwest Creative Arts, 45 East Church Lane, Philadelphia, PA. 11 singers are competing. One will walk away with $1,000. And this is also sponsored by Beauty and the Beast. Shout out to them right now. I believe they're actually on PQ1 Radio with the singers. I don't know if all the singers are up there or whatever, but shout out to the singers. They definitely some talented singers that's in the building. But we got some talented ladies in the building right now. We got Killa the Poet. And we got Miss Sonya Lindsay in the building, author. You know what I mean? So we're going to start with Miss Sonya Lindsay. You're in the Delaware area now, you said, right?
Yes, I'm in the Delaware area, not too far from Chester, where I'm from originally.
Okay.
Grew up in Chester, PA. Shout out to Chester.
All right, so when you was out in Chester, was it as rough as it is?
No, it was. I mean, it was rough, but it wasn't like it is now. Definitely. I wasn't scared to walk, stay out till like midnight, 1 o'clock. You know, walking all over the place. Yeah.
They used to have the curfews and everything out there.
Yeah, it's a little different now.
But you said you were in Delaware now, in Newcastle area, right?
Yes, I am.
All right. So what do people know about you and what you do? You're an author, but give them a little bit of detail.
Sure. Well, I am a published author. My first book was published in December. It's a book about erotic short stories. So it's a group of stories, different characters. There's 9 stories, all different types of scenarios you can think about, from marriage to the player boy, or to the working woman who doesn't have time for love and she meets someone. Different scenarios. It keeps it interesting. It is available on Amazon.com. I'm also on different websites. Facebook, if you like my page, author Sonya Lindsay. I'm on Instagram and Twitter as well under the name Songs310. That's SONES 310. So definitely check it out. Keep up with me. I have some different things going on. Next month in April, I will be in a plus size fashion show. You can get tickets also from my website. You want to go onto Facebook.com/author Sonya Lindsay. All that information is available. And also I have a women's show coming up where I'll be actually signing copies of my book, and it'll be available for sale. And that's going to be May 1st. And all the information can be available either on my Instagram, or you can go to my Facebook page.
Okay. All right, so I want to know, how did you get started? Like, you said this is your first published book, right?
Yes.
Is this your first book that you've written, period?
Well, this is my first collection of books that I've written. I actually started writing like short blogs on Tumblr, I would say 3 years ago. So I was going through some personal things in life. I'm divorced, so I was kind of going through that transition, and I just felt inspired, to get some thoughts out, on paper. And then I was showing some of my friends around, some of my writing. It's like, well, you should write, you should publish, you should do this, you should do a book. So I started the blog just to kind of get started and get a feeling of what people, if they really will like what I write, because I don't know, I'm kind of sensitive in that area. I don't want nobody to say, oh, you should not be writing. So I got it out there and I got good feedback. So I was like, well, I'm going to do, a collection. Actually, I have a lot more stories that I want to put out there. So this is just the beginning. So
when you started, were you doing like erotic stuff? Is that what you started with, or how did you get into that field?
Sure. Well, I mean, I love to read that type of writing. I'm a big fan of Zane, Eric Jerome Dickey, Omar Tyree, Terrence McMillan, those type of writers. So I always read those type of books. So when I was reading, right now I'm reading a book by Eric Jerome Dickey. So when I read, I was like, this sounds like something that I can write. So I don't know, it just kind of comes to me naturally, I guess you could say. I didn't go to school for writing or anything like that. It's just putting my thoughts down on paper. I'm a sexual person, so my mind tends to go there. So I was like, well, let me write what's in my mind. And I just developed the characters as I, went along with thinking of a storyline. And so I developed the characters, and from there it kind of came into one. So the stories are pretty interesting. The first story I ever wrote from a man's point of view, I put in the book. It's called That Feeling. So it's kind of from a man's point of view. But the rest of the stories is from a woman's point of view.
So, everybody wants to know, are all the stories fictional, or are any of these, it doesn't have to be about you, but are, your girlfriends might have told you certain stories, or even if they are personal experience, are any of them, so you change the names and stuff, but
Well, I'm gonna say that some of the stories have personal inspiration. Not the scenarios are real, but some of the situations that may have happened in the story is kind of maybe from real life. One of the stories, the restaurant, is the inspiration from a girlfriend of mine. She told me a little story, and I was like, I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to remember that. So that's kind of in the book. So I mean, it is some is personal, but most majority, well, the whole the book is fictional, but it's just like personal touches, like how maybe the woman likes to be touched, or what the man likes, or something like that can come a little personal area. Yeah.
all right. So Miss Killa the poet.
Hey.
You know what I mean? I know you from, we went to high school together, you know what I mean?
Yeah, way back.
Bro, stand up,
You're a
Jersey,
little
stand
older
up.
than me, girl, but it's cool.
Like, too, G, though, you know what I mean? But, yeah, give the people a little bit about you. I don't know what you do.
I'm Killa the poet. Some people know me as Kelly. I'm from Borough, New Jersey, like a DJ here. And I've been writing my first poem I wrote because my librarian in elementary school, she was like, Kelly, you need to, write a poem for this contest. I'm like, I don't know how to do that. What are you talking about? So she kept pushing me. And then I wrote this poem about my older sister because I was upset. She was moving out and leaving me with my mom and my little sister, and we was tight and I was sick. So I wrote a poem for her, and I ended up getting in the newspaper for that, and I won second place in a contest. So ever since then, I realized that there's power behind my words, and it can inspire people. And so I just been writing ever since.
All right, so how did you get the name Killa the poet? Where was that from?
Well, back in the day, when I was in ninth grade, I used to make up raps so we could just go to lunch and make up little ciphers and bang on the table and all of that. So I would just make up little funny raps, and I was a big fan of Cameron at the time. So he was Killer Cam. I said, well, I'm Killer Calvin. So I was like, you know what? I want my poetry, my writing to have longevity. And at the time, Jay-Z was about to retire. You can't be a rapper after you're 30. So I figured if I become a poet, then I could write for as long as I want and do whatever I want, and there's no time frame on what I can do. So that kind of branched off into Killa the Poet.
All right. So I just want y'all to hear what she said. I don't know if C. Lilo got the headphones on there, but you heard what she just said. You can't be a rapper after 30. When people are like, yo, why did you stop rapping, whatever? And I tell them this is how I transitioned into DJing, because the same thing you said, I didn't want to be a rapper past 30. Not saying that you can't do it, because there's obviously other rappers in the industry right now. 2 Chainz, I believe, is one of them. But there's a couple of people out there that are rappers, but I didn't want to be that dude. So, yeah, I just had to highlight that real quick. But, yeah, so what have you been working on right now, though?
Well, right now, I really haven't been writing anything, because I'm not the type of poet that just writes to write, because it's not going to be authentic. It's just going to be quantity instead of quality. The last show I think I did was I opened up for Vivian Green over in Delaware, so that was pretty dope. She's a really sweet person, and that was one of the biggest things I did. But I've been to the New Yorican Poets Cafe up in Manhattan. That's a big deal for poets. That's the poetry mecca. So I've been there twice. So twice? No, I've been there 3 times. So I just well, right now I'm performing at the African American Festival up in Trenton. I believe that's in August. I don't have an exact date for that yet, but you can follow my Facebook page and my Instagram and my Twitter. It's all Killa the Poet. It's THE, not DA.
All right. So Miss Sonya, let me back to you real quick. So, and this is going to be a question for both of y'all. Right now, I know you said that writing wasn't initially your main thing, whatever. So, one, what was your main passion in the beginning before you got into that, and then what inspires you right now to keep writing?
Well, I went to school for math and business.
Okay.
So I guess I was always a smart girl in class, and I was always expected to go to college, and I did well in school all my life. So I initially would like to own my own business. So this is kind of transitioning into that, because being an author, publishing, and promoting yourself out there, you're basically your business. So definitely using that aspect while I'm getting into more of an author role. And I guess what transitioning me into writing, again, personal situations, and what keeps me kind of writing. I'm actually, I'm working on things now to put out my next book. So it's basically just personal, also social media like Facebook. You kind of interact with a lot of people, so you hear different stories from people. They post on their page, friends, all types of things you hear nowadays. So it kind of the world is kind of inspiring me to keep writing because I have so many different subjects that I can write about and different people's backgrounds and their situation I can kind of pull from to create my book because it's all about building your characters, and the more people that you know, the more characters that you kind of can build into one person.
So before we get to Kelly, I want to know, do people ever ask you like to write a story? Like, do they give you situations and like, yeah, you should put this situation in your book?
I haven't had that yet. I have had like exes that's like, did you write me in your book?
Yeah, I can see that. Like, yo, you gotta sound like a little disclaimer. Like, look, if we date and we break up, you cannot use any of our stories in here.
Hey, it happened in my life. I got, authorization to write about myself. I can't help if you might have been, a subject matter.
All right, so Kel, you said that you started rapping.
Yeah.
Then you got into poetry. So like, was the transition from poetry just because of the age factor? Or?
No, I kind of grew out of it and I kind of left it alone. It was kind of just for fun, like the poetry. And then like everybody kept telling me like, Kelly, you need to do something with this. Like you have something here. I'm like, I don't know. And then I finally went up to this guy who knew a promoter, and he was like, he's doing a show, you should do it. So I was like, all right. So I ended up being in the show. It was at Tacony Village. They tore it down now. But that was my first like show ever. And everybody just stood up and clapped. I'm like, oh man. I'm like, for real? I was like, okay, y'all clapping for me. And then I felt like I touched people. I had people come up to me and tell me that whatever I was speaking about that happened to them, and they were thanking me and stuff like that. I was like, wow, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And so it was a wrap after that.
So what keeps you inspired to do it now?
What keeps me inspired is the people that I don't want to let down. Like, they're looking to me for that inspiration, and it's my responsibility to be transparent as an artist. Everything I write happened. So I feel like it's my responsibility to be transparent and be the voice for those who can't find the words.
All right. So we're going to get into some music real quick, take a quick music break. We're going to come back with Sonya Lindsay and Killa the Poet, get some more info. Definitely want to get into some of your segments on your book, whatever. I got a couple of pieces on here that I want to read. Okay. None of the ladies want to read it to me, so I don't know. It sounds a little weird to me unless you want to read it yourself. But we're going to get to, I got to play one of these mixes or whatever. I got my man Scoop, another Jersey native, whatever. Okay. So we're going to get to this mix real quick. We'll be right back. Stay plugged in.
Happy Bad, your favorite radio host from 15 Minutes of Fame Radio, www.radio.com. You are now DJ.
They see me in those flashing lights. They see that's that guy. Now they show love for passing by. Me mugs is daps and fire. And when they see me in those flashing lights, they turn to their neighbor and say that's that guy. I know. They turn to their neighbor and say that's that guy. I know. Show love for passing by. Me mugs is daps and fires. And when they see me in those flashing lights, they turn to their neighbor and say that's that guy. I know. And so I show appreciation for it and voice my intentions. This every single poem is a testimony of the hard work of my friends. And the shorties who still right beside me when they realize when I rhyme, it's bigger than I have. It's my lifeline. And you can get short by a sword or somebody shot me. I live in my world, so forever I survive. So life through the eyes of the like job. Smoother than a nigga moonwalking while he's flipping. Moving in the new position, top spot. Super Scooby-Doo with astronomical star. Armageddon where I drop. They say a cumulus cloud won't make my shine stop. So in December I make the weather July hot. These bright lights got my mind in the days. I'm just riding the wave. I never ever hit a dry spot. So it's whatever. You give me that 25th letter, and I will give you one better. Give you what I got. Show love passing by. No love steps and vibes and wit. They see me in those flashing lights. They took to the nigga and say that's that guy. I know. I show up to my show till they show up. I say hip, they say hot, then I go down. Off the building, they got get with the loop, but I know you be on. You know what? I'm the coldest mofo going down this town, so show up. I'm the master of my style. Spilling the beans, standing in front of the crowd, they bear witness to me. So attentively, I envision these scenes in my sleep as a child, so I'm living my dream. Thank God for now. My present is a gift that never goes out of style, and it keeps on giving. I'm milking this cow. I get built to this, and never built in my house. All the words out my mouth like five.
I just turned it down. Everything was at a West. I
ain't complaining. I'm just saying, we say the same shit, so we should take this. Already took it. We don't just write it, we book it. The picture we paint on vivid. We don't just talk it, we live it. So since it's already taken, it's history in the making. Niggas must be mistaken or faking, cause they be hating, or maybe they ain't relating. So I'm mistaken, cause these resting characters ain't acquainted to what we curating. Hold on, pause, let me recite it and be more blatant, so I'm educated can get the statement. What I'm basically saying, I'm fine, punchlines up, weapons falling down. There's a lot of talk, but nothing get straight, I'm parallel with my side. Don't think that you will up just by stepping on lines. You gotta move, gotta get on your grind, straight to the blind. Show them that you're dreaming, just about your mind. So if you didn't, now you know just fine. And all that haters fall back, just like the chair reclines. So I know, and he knows that you know.
You got the recording going up there now.
But sometimes they don't make it cause I'm out to jack. Take over the night and put the other stars to rest. Recognize this is disregard the rest. I need God to tell us we all the best, cause I know. And he knows. Yeah, we know. Yeah, I know. Because show love passing by.
That's all I want to do.
Steps and vibes and victory. Keep me with this flesh and lies. And took to them. That's that guy, I know.
Yeah, that's great. Only thing that's going to be tough when you're ready. Because sometimes we're streaming videos at a different speed.
We do it for the people. 151, man, we do it for the people. We do it for the people. That nigga C man, we do it for the people. We do it for the people. 151, man, we do it for the people.
It's like you ever watching a bootleg movie and the mouth was off?
We do it for the people. The nigga C we do it for the people. Let's go.
The frame rate.
I'm trying to do Atlanta, see a homeless man standing with all the scars.
But it's like the mouth being off.
I was thinking it still would be like, you would have to say it up to the right minute or second, whatever. But I was thinking it still would be doing the same time.
It's not because of sympathy, it's meant from the empathy. I know about bad break, knowing what the bottom holds, knowing how it feels to your soul burns in that bottle, knowing. People assume the worst when they see him. They think that he on crack, even if he ain't seen it. Little do they know this man grew from an orphan, a migrant worker who traveled around as a porter. Called her to a job for a year, saw progression, but lost it so fast when the country hit recession. You ain't have to tell me your struggles. I'm humble by my struggles. I took them to McDonald's and copped them a few McDoubles out of love. Don't ever ever lose your love. For the world, for the people. Don't ever ever lose your love. For your world and your people. Don't ever ever lose your love.
No, I heard you shout out there.
For your world and your people, being an old head around the way is kind of funny.
Right.
Old niggas with money, doing the same shit with they homies that my crew did. I learned the same lessons, navigating the guessing. See my young niggas stressing, life had a vexing, drinking away his problems and asking me for suggestions. He had a lot of questions and he couldn't find the answers. He really needed help and I couldn't just offer answers. He told me about his case and how his sentence was spending, how his money was blown in the wild home that he lived in. The beef that he had and how he rolling with heat. He ain't trying to go back to bitching, but he's starving to eat. Now I know we in the streets and I couldn't tell him play the block, but wouldn't feel right if he got knocked or a fatal shot. Told him get a job, watch the people start to climb back. We all need direction. I'm here, hoping you find that. From the heart. Don't ever ever lose your love. For the world, for the people. You'll never ever lose your love. For your world and your people, you'll never ever lose your love. For the world, for the people, you'll never ever lose your love. For your world and your people, I can never lose my love. Cause God's in me. That's why when I get on the mic, I'm a God MC. So I do it for the people. And not only the ones in the steeple, but that's how we started.
We started as rappers.
Yeah, I'm a hip hop apostle. Cause every rhyme I write is gonna give them the gospel. That these other cats deliver results. They make it look like every flashing light all full. And all flashes start everything in the chest. Pulling them up doesn't happen so
Well, you had enough time, Thursday, and then I would have probably hopped on Sunday, but
that's why I'm grinding my kids. So the next generation will be closer to shit.
Next time I hold a retreat, I didn't want to go to the retreat. I know one guy, I just don't,
you met brother before.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's one of the companies. I definitely want to go through that already.
Alright, we are back in the building. I turn this joint down. Like, you gotta get this echo thing fixed, yo. I heard it was going on your show too, whatever. Like, it's frustrating to do that. But anyway, we got Miss Sonya Lindsay in the building. We got Killa the Poet in the building. So I want to know right now, what is your next step as far as like writing your next erotic novel? Like, how would you, from you having different stories that's in this book already, how do you kind of get into the mind frame of writing more stories from that? Is it going through more experiences and like you said, you already kind of are a sexual being, so do you have to kind of like, let me try some more stuff sexually, whatever, so that can open my creative, you know what I mean, my creative side, whatever. Like, how do you kind of get into that mode where you feel to write a new story?
It's just everything is in my mind already. Like, I'm gonna be 35 next week, and I've been through a lot of things and met a lot of different people. So it's a lot of things that I've done. So I don't really need to do anything new. I can just take from the past and incorporate that and, fantasies and things like that that may not have happened to me, but I can see it happening to someone. I try to write about something that you can read and say, that sounds like that really happened. So that's kind of where I like to go with my books. I like to write something that's like actually sounds true, but not really true.
All right. So what would be like one of your favorite stories out of your book right now?
Out of this current book, I would say one of my favorite stories that I wrote is kind of hard to choose. But I think the class reunion kind of something that I kind of favor that one. The class reunion basically talks about a woman going back to her high school reunion. She used to live in a small town in Jersey. She goes, starts her own business and moves to New York, and she's a big, famous, not really famous, but got a lot of stuff going for herself, and she goes back to her high school class reunion and gets reacquainted with her high school crush. And in high school, she was kind of like a nobody. She wasn't popular. She was kind of like a regular girl, kind of nerdy. And that's kind of like how I was a little bit in school. But she comes back and she has so much stuff going for herself, and she kind of gets up with him, and some things happen.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna read a little excerpt from one of the books, whatever. Y'all really gonna make me read this?
Yeah.
Listen, I am not an erotic.
Quiet storm.
You're none of that. So don't laugh at me. But anyways, it says, she said, I understand and I don't want to take you away from your wife. I just want one good fuck with you. I know your dick is good. I really don't want to read this. You want to read it? Thank you. We got 5 ladies in here, and nobody wants to take it from you. Like, come on,
I told you what you going there for.
Come on, Oh man. All right, that's it.
Let's start over. All right, we're gonna start over. That was a good try. No.
I'm uncomfortable. I'm hot now, yo. Like, man.
Why you hot?
No, not hot like that. I'm nervous. Like, y'all put me on the spot. Like, damn.
Okay. She said, I understand I don't want to take you away from your wife. I just want one good fuck with you. I know your dick is good. I can tell by the way you walk. She licked her lips again and was so close to me that I could smell the sweet aroma of her hair. She began to remove her tank top to reveal her sports bra that barely covered her nipples. She took her hand and moved it to cover my right breast. She took her hand and moved it to cover her right breast and told me to squeeze it. Now this is from the book, story, that feeling that's from the man's point of view. Yeah. So that's funny you picked that.
Crazy. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah. So speaking of that, do you do actual like live readings and stuff sometimes in your books or anything?
I haven't yet. I've done, when I first started my blog, I did go to open mic and read one of my stories, but I haven't yet done the live reading.
Okay.
I'm open to it. But my personality is more like behind the stage. Like I like to write and be the storyteller and have someone else read it out. But I'm open, definitely to reading. I'm thinking about doing an audio of my book. A friend of mine said I should. She thinks it would.
Yeah, I mean, technology right now.
Yeah.
People usually don't have the time to read. So
yeah.
put
They
your
can
thing
put it
on
in there.
the car or whatever.
Yeah, I think I might do that.
Okay. So Killa the poet.
Yep.
From what I think I know about poetry or poets, whatever, most of them have a certain lane. You have your political poets, you have your sexual poets, you have your angry poets, whatever. Is there like a certain lane that you try to stay in, or I know you said you write from real life experiences, but is there like a lane that you would kind of describe yourself as, or you kind of just open?
Nah, I like to say I'm a real talk artist. I like to artistically articulate the truth, and that's just what I do.
So what type, like, what's one of your favorite poems that you have done?
I'm not a rapper. That's my favorite piece.
You performed at Dangerous Lines a couple times.
Yeah,
right?
That's my favorite piece. That's like an introduction to people who don't know me and people who are ignorant to poetry and think, oh, you just a rapper. You just ain't got no beat behind you. Like, it is kind of the same thing, but it's just like, people don't look at me as they try to make me be a rapper, and that's just not what I am. And that was just for the ignorant people to break it down. Like, I understand that rap is a form of poetry, but there's a difference between rappers and poets, and some poets happen to be rappers. You know what I'm saying? But
all right, so I want to ask you. I know you said you've been on hiatus a little bit.
Yeah, man.
If I put you on the spot, you got to say. I mean, I was gonna say to do that piece.
I am going to do that piece.
Cool.
That's what I had in my mind.
I mean, the memory kind of fade, because I know when I come back, sometimes like I forget some of my rhymes, whatever. So I didn't know how long it's been since you.
Man, now I know I can curse. It's about to go down.
All right.
I tried to like unhook it. Okay.
All right, so you about to get an exclusive from Killa the poet.
All right. No, I don't rap. Stop asking me that. I'm a poet, and you should already know it the way I bring these verses up from my diaphragm through this pen in my hand. My soul is all in this, no gimmicks, so don't disrespect me with your ignorance. Now, I'm not saying that poets don't rap. Duh, common sense. But between rappers and poets, there is a big difference. Just look up the definition. A rapper is simply one who recites raps. Well, yeah, anybody could do that. Rappers set us back, proving that we're not far from whence we came. We traded in our chains for 2 chains in Trinidad James. Their goal is to sell their soul for gold. Don't believe me, just watch. How dare you get in a booth and disrespect the roots? This toxic shit on the radio is a hip-hop parody. Hip-hop blasphemy, a cultural tragedy. Rapping about money and popping mollies reminded me that my pockets is on E. And how my shit is from Target and not Gucci or Louis V. Damn, rappers used to inspire me. And yo, party and bullshit was my shit, but nowadays I'm just so sick of this bullshit party music. And yo, before Cam started Mother Goose in it, he used to be my influence. Now, Nikki, being a builder bitch is her gimmick. She got the spotlight and she ain't even using it right. She don't deserve that, Mike. Man, thank God they freed Remy. And fuck Iggy. Shout out to EBE. Now, Yeezy is a dope poet that raps, but let's face the facts. He went from Jesus walks to no church in a while now. That's wild. So bow down, bitches, and watch the throne. Can't you see what's going on? I pray that hip-hop will revive him because suddenly he's unconscious. I'm so sick of this nonsense. At least we could depend on Kendrick for some poetic justice. Man, these rappers lack substance. They all sound like this. Gold bottles, a few models, loud pack, bring it back. I got racks, dirty Sprite. This bitch fucking the whole team tonight. And a whole bunch of other shit that rhyme that ain't right. This is a rap battle because I'm battling for rap. Weezy said hip-hop ain't dead, it just had a heart attack. So think about the things I just said. Let it settle in your head now. Hip-hop ain't dead. Everybody just decided to be rappers and not poets instead. Poet, definition, one who recites poetry, maker of verses, one of great imaginative and expressive capabilities and special sensitivity to the medium. My poetry's deep, I never fail. It ain't hard to tell. I'm not a rapper. Thank you. Snap, snap. Nah, you can clap for a snap. That's a throwback. Sometimes they still do that.
Yeah.
All right, so you said it's been a while since you performed and you really been doing a poetry thing. Like, what made you stop? Was there... You just not inspired, or life events happen, or what?
I just got tired of the way the poetry scene is set up in Philadelphia. Is like it's a lot of egos involved, and it's a lot of look at me, look at me, look at me. And I was just like, man, I need to step back and reevaluate and figure out what direction I want to take with this. Like, do I just want to like only do it to get paid? But I didn't want to seem like I'm cocky, but at the same time, I know my worth. You know what I'm saying? Because I just got tired of doing the open mic thing. But, I'm here to announce my return to the stage, and I'm not downgrading open mics. That's probably something that I'll start back doing. But I was going through a little emotional, personal things, and it just like I didn't want to force it because it won't be art if you force it. You know what I'm saying? You can't rush greatness.
All right. So, I'm start with you on this question. You have a daughter, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, does she look up to you? I'm like, do you share your poetry with her first off?
She knows a lot of my pieces. She thinks I'm famous because I'm on YouTube. And she even wrote a little piece about me. I can't remember it. I don't know, but she's like, I don't want to be a poet, Mom. I want to sing, and I want to be internet famous. I'm like, okay, whatever. She doesn't like want to be a poet or anything, but she does think that I'm famous for something.
So is that something you want her to do too, on that lane, or are you kind of open to like her getting into whatever?
She has the gift because her dad raps, and I just think it's in her. I know it's in her to be artistic. I just don't know what direction she's going to take. But I'm just curious to see what she's going to turn into.
Okay. All right, so I was going to kind of piggyback off of that. One, do you have kids?
I don't have kids yet.
All right, so
not yet.
Your family, when you came out with your erotic novel, like what was their, input or their reaction to you writing, erotic novels? Like, was your mom like, what are you doing, or reading stories? Like, what is in your mind? Like, what was their reaction?
No, I mean, my family was very supportive of me. I did a radio show in Baltimore, kind of like similar to this, and like I was kind of weirded out because my father was listening, so I was like, oh God, I don't know how I can talk sexy with my father listening. Right. But he like called me afterwards, like, congratulations, you sounded so good. Like I have a very good support system, so it wasn't really. No, like, oh, you're doing that.
Nobody kind of funny, like, church community, or nobody like, oh, we're not going to talk to her anymore. Like, you're not welcome here no more.
No, not at all. I just, really have a good support system and people behind me that want to see me be successful no matter what I do. It's about whatever makes me happy, and, I'm happy that I have them.
Well, that's what you need. You definitely need a support system, because right now I think a lot of independent artists, period, rappers, poets, whatever, we don't get a lot of support from our people most of the time. We have to kind of step out, get that love first, and then come back. That's when they either accept you or they try to claim you, whatever. So it's good that you have a support system. You same thing? You have a lot of support from
your family? It's crazy, because I was thinking about something that my dad said. He went to one of my shows, and I'm like, oh my God, I can't cuss in front of my dad. I can't say fuck. And oh my God. And he was there. He was like, He was like, you did good. You just need to move around a little bit more. And so that made me feel good. My mom, she just started being into it because she just like, oh, you're a poet. That's your little hobby. Okay, whatever. But now she sees that there's something there. So I think she's finally accepting that. I'm great. You know what I'm saying?
I have a question. What advice would you give, like myself, I'm a blogger, so what advice would you give to people that, have writer's block? Sometimes, what can we do to stay inspired and stay creative? That's what both
Was
of
that
you.
for me? Okay. Well, I still experience that. My biggest thing is don't force it. Let it come to you naturally because I'm not throwing no shade, but in the poetry industry, you can tell who just writes to have poems and who really writes. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I like. I like to separate myself from that. Like, quality is way better than quantity. I know that's cliche, but that's real.
And, I feel like that sometimes because I feel like some weeks I have a blog every single day, and sometimes I'm like, all right, I only got a blog for today, and I'm like, well, damn, they're expecting me to write something, and they're tagging me in stuff, and they're tagging me in things that I really don't care about talking to,
Yeah.
So it's like,
it's pressure. It's a lot of pressure. And it's just like, even now, like, I've been on my hiatus and people blowing my phone. Why you not coming out? Why you not doing? I can't make myself do it. Like, you know what I'm saying? When it comes to me, I'll be there. That's why I'm here now. This is like, my platform to be like, all right, I'm coming back.
Yeah,
F it, like, I'm back. Like, you know what I mean?
And for me, like, when I go through that as well, I'm trying to work on my next book, and, I want the story to be interesting, something that sounding like the last story that I wrote. So, sometimes, things come to me at different times. So, like, if I'm at work or I'm at the doctor's office or something like that, something just comes to me. And at that time, I got to have a pencil or paper or my notes on my iPad, on my iPhone, writing something else, like the idea that comes to me. So it may not come all at once. Sometimes you just need to take yourself out of the situation, like maybe change your background if you're all in the house all the time, maybe go somewhere, take a walk or something like that, and it may come to you, out of the blue.
Yeah, somebody told me once that I'm not in a position to not deliver blogs all the time because I'm not up there yet. So I'm supposed to keep delivering until I get my name out. But it's like
that pressure.
I don't want to put out trash,
Right, exactly. I
give them, responses and views, and I'm building that conversation for people. I want that all the time.
Right.
Sometimes I find myself just, okay, I'm gonna talk about this, and be like, oh, I don't care, or it doesn't matter, or so I don't want that. I want the response to be,
consistent.
Yeah,
like, I understand what you're saying.
Exactly. So just trying to find a way to be creative and stay creative.
Well, the internet is powerful. Check out different websites. Definitely, when I started writing, I kind of got a lot of people hitting me up on my Facebook, on my Instagram, and things like that. And, checking out different avenues kind of helped me, like, open up my mind and think about, well, I could be writing about this, I could be writing about that. And people, giving me different ideas by what they're going through and things like that. So definitely the internet is helpful in the world that we live in today because you can reach out to people all over. And it's not necessarily just seeing people in your neighborhood. So you may want to get an inspiration from looking at the internet.
Okay. So I have another question. What do you want people to take away from your work and yours as well?
I just want to be relatable. I just want to, like I said, be the voice for those who can't find the words. Like, you know what I'm saying? People don't know how to express certain things. I'm not afraid to talk about anything that I've been through because it's real. People say, oh my God, I can't believe she up there talking about it. So what? It happened to me. You either gonna love me or leave me alone. And it is what it is.
You're not sure that's a part of being creative.
Yeah, it's a responsibility.
You can help. Just by giving your story. Right. So what about you with your erotic novels?
I want people to take away, something, maybe get out your comfort zone and try something different. You're with your mate, your sex life may be kind of boring. So reading some of my stories, it can give you some different ideas. You want to play things out, keep things interesting, keep your marriage going. So you can kind of get some things out of that reading my book. You can kind of just be creative.
So not to get into this, but if you're dating and you tell a guy, I do erotic books, do they raise an eyebrow like, oh, you do? Or do they be like,
They come in like, yeah, let's try this.
Or are they flirting? Yeah, are they flirting by it?
Honestly, like, well, I'm in a relationship now. I met him in 2014, and I mean, if you're in a relationship with me, you gotta be open-minded anyway, because I'm an open-minded person. So it wasn't like, oh, they're intimidated or anything. They're kind of excited, They get, different side of me that everybody else don't see. So I mean, I think it can be intimidating to some people who aren't on the same level I'm on. So it's definitely about who you want to pick as your mate. So
Yeah.
Has there ever been a time where like somebody you dated read your book and they be like, yo, I want to try that. Like, let's do that tonight.
Well, I don't know because he's reading my book now. So if he's listening, he can let me know.
With that said, we're going to go into another music break real quick. We're going to come back. I want to try to see if I can get you to read another excerpt from the book and then another piece real quick. But we're going to get to some music from Good Girl. Yeah. And we got some music from K-Dub as well. She just dropped a new single called Heartbreaks. So stay plugged in. Let's go. I'll be here paying attention to what is when I go out and right now, all of these guys are on music. So when this song is done, on stop it. And like right when I see all the time, so we do I'll be back for a couple seconds.
You try to do it that way, so you gather them up the vodka and hit them with the music. Smart, yo. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the yo. But I think he's gonna put the vodka on, but once he has the DJ on the vodka, he's gonna hit him with the music. Yeah. I think it's some corporate shit, man. But yo, you wanna reach out about this?
To do what?
I said, I guess it's a whole other thing. I'm not sure,
I'm not really locked in with Alamo like that. Like, I don't know.
Oh, it's Alamo. Oh, I just saw Alamo. Yeah, not Alamo. I don't know.
When is it?
Supposed to be Saturday. Yeah. CME Rock. Mike Zombie.
Is it a basketball thing or is it like here?
I don't know. I don't think it's basketball thing.
So what can you do? They must have redid their auditorium. Because I can't see them having nowhere else.
I mean, it could be on the basketball court. They just play a little joint down there.
It could be.
Yeah, I don't know.
Work that goody goody, that goody 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 goody. You want that goody goody, I got that goody goody goody. Got that goody goody, need that bag on the floor.
The only other thing, it comes down to you might not have people. Like, say it's a weekend and I'm not here, and I got y'all doing whoever's playing the music. You look your last job or your hard job, whatever it is, back. When the voters come up, like this is my job right here. Like, And then on the desktop of the computer, we all have our own identity. Right? But that is a pretty cool. So you got that desktop folder unplugged in. On here, you're going to find our folder here. Click on here, you hit plus, files. Then you can go to our folder, click everything, and open, put everything.
Yo, you refresh your so you don't keep that in there.
I mean, I keep it in there just in case, like, say I forget my hard drive, I don't want to have something blank, but yeah, when I come in, I delete everything out my folder.
I told you got to clear everything out, though, and highlight everything once you're inside there, right? Because you know how, like, basically, Kimberly's is what I had to do. I add stuff into the folder on the desktop. Drop it in there. This is still not going to recognize automatically the stuff you just put in there. So you got to go here to the minus button, click clear all.
Then you're talking about the clear stuff, like, I just told you how you add stuff in here. Because this stuff is going to stay in this folder until you delete it. So, like, I don't do that in the show. When I come in next week, I'll take all this stuff in here, I'll hit the negative button, whatever, remove it, and then add all the new stuff.
With the old stuff. Like, the playlist is not going to update automatically. You got to highlight everything and then bring it back over again. Like, so every week, I add new songs. I add new songs in there, but every week I got to come in, you know what I'm saying, delete it, and then take the whole folder back and new stuff. So, that's pretty easy, though.
About a minute. So this is good. Hey, Jay. No.
You remember Wayne's Brothers, Brazilla? When they, I thought you were yeah, when they were dressing up as kitty characters, and they fought the one dude that was like Godzilla or whatever. And they corporate dinner that they were working, you got jealous, showed up and fought them.
I don't remember Wayne's Brothers like that, yo.
Wayne's Brothers, you never watched it?
Oh, you said Wayne's Brothers?
Yeah.
When they had the
roach in the rat.
Yeah.
I'm Brazilla.
I thought you said Wayne's Brothers. Or what was it? Wayne's World. I'll see you.
That's my shit too, though.
15 seconds.
Keep it close enough. I'm talking to y'all.
Alright. Wednesday is definitely you call the office?
Yeah, no, I'm calling Monday. She said they got them on day long.
5. Alright, we are back. You're plugged in with Sonya Lindsay butta-fingaz, aka Plug. Alright. So, before we get out of here, we're going to get one more excerpt and we're going to get a piece from Killa the Poet. And I want y'all to give your information, let the people know where they can get your book, find your stuff at, whatever. So, yeah, I guess, whatever. You have an excerpt in mind? Or?
I have one.
Alright, so we about to get that one. I kind of want to light the candles and turn the lights down a little bit.
Okay, so this is from the story My Addiction. I told him, pull my hair, smack my ass, choke me. Don't be scared to make it hurt. He grabbed my hair from the back and plunged his dick deep in my pussy. It felt like he was going to go through me, but it felt so good. I knew I was going to be sore for a day after fucking him like all the other times. I was addicted to the orgasms he gave me. I loved riding his dick too. My thick hips fitted perfectly around his slim waist as I bounced on his big black dick. He gave it right back to me too. He moved his hips to meet my pelvic area just so his dick glided over my G-spot. He had a slight curve that was made perfectly for that position.
So, yeah, kids. So my bad. I didn't know it was gonna get that graphic this time. We took it from like rated R to like triple X. You know what I mean?
And that
everybody's what they doing.
And that is available in my book, Penetration for the Mind, on Amazon.com. Again, you can follow me on Facebook, author Sonya Lindsay. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Stones, SONES 310.
Alright. Killa, can we get one more piece
Hello.
of you and let them know where you at?
Trying to come back from that.
Yes. All right. How you doing, DJ?
I'm glad I didn't have to read that one. I'm real glad I didn't have to read that one.
Let's see. I think I'm going to go with the wet butt. This is a classic.
Wet butt.
Yes.
That's your comment.
Right? See how
I want to know what you're going
back off that. See what I did there, right?
Alright.
Okay. What do you do when the music stops? After you stumble barefoot down a couple of blocks. You open the car door, but not before checking for cops. Barely making a ride home. You're alone, or maybe not. Maybe you brought somebody back from the spot. Alcohol elevating from your pores as you get on all fours, look back and tell him, it's yours. He busts a nut and leaves you with a wet butt. In the morning, he's a hero and you're a slut. Frizzy hair and smeared makeup, you look used up, washed up, and wrung out. So what do you do when the music stops? After drinking 8 or 9 of your favorite rapper's punchline, after letting about 10 niggas grind from behind, beads of sweat tickling your spine, and that's fine if you like that sort of thing, but what do you do when the fun is done, when the music stops? You had a blast, but it never lasts forever.
Alright. I like that.
I like
Thank you. Wet butt.
So where can they find you at again?
They can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Killa the Poet. I'm not giving y'all my government name. Y'all just gonna have to go on Facebook and like my page, and maybe I will let you be friends with my real self. And then yeah, it's Killa the Poet, KILLATHEPOET.
Alright. Just before we get out here, so I want to know, did you ever think about doing a book or like a CD?
I did do a CD, and I was very displeased with it, so I pulled it, and I'm fixing that up right now. I am trying to gather up enough material to do a book because I've lost so many poetry books, and it's devastating. It's like a death to a poet when you lose your book. So I'm trying to rebuild my archives, but yeah, I plan on doing that in the near future.
All right. So we're gonna get back to this topic real quick, the topic of the day. Can you go ahead and reiterate what we're talking about?
Earlier we were talking about it's a bill being passed in Illinois saying that if a mother doesn't have the child's signature on a birth certificate, then they won't issue the birth certificate to the child. And you know the importance of having the birth certificate, social security, and school enrollment, and we know all of the things you need to survive here. So, what's your take on that?
That's deep. That's crazy. So basically, if they don't know who the father is and they don't sign a birth certificate, that's not issued to the child?
It is, but they did also say that mother has 30 days to find the father or have a family member DNA proof, because they'll do a whole DNA test. And also the family member has to be financially stable as well before signing the birth certificate.
I feel like this is the setup. This is a setup for black people. You know what I'm saying? And minorities, because we're the ones who have this problem.
Exactly.
So it's just another way of keeping us down. And you know what I mean? The only way that we can overcome everything that's going on is if we build our own economy. And by doing little stuff like this, locking our men up and all of this little birth certificate shit, that's keeping them on top.
Yeah.
That's what it's about. Point blank period.
I definitely agree with the poet here. I don't think that should go into play because there's so many young girls, like you said earlier, that's going through things happen, they don't know who the father is, or the father gets killed, or what happens when the father moves away and you don't know how to find them. So I don't think that's the positive thing at all.
All right, so I got a different input on that now. I feel what y'all saying. I still think it could wake people up, but I just thought about another situation. What about if the girl gets raped?
Yeah, that was actually a discussion in the blog. Somebody said, well, what if she gets raped? And we all was sitting there clueless, like, what happens? I mean, these things happen. And then, you know, if it's one of their people that get raped, you know.
That's why I look at it as is they're trying to put us down because they know these different situations that's going to go on. They just don't care about them. So it's like, okay, it's a lose-lose for them, and we're winning. So it really doesn't matter what you go through. This is what's going to happen because, you know, it's going to set y'all back. And it's nothing we can really do about it.
You know who's really going to benefit from this, though? Maury Povich.
Yeah.
trying to hit the show like, yo, I only got 30 days, bro. I need to go on your show. I'm looking at 18 dudes right now. Like, yo, this show's about to pop. You gonna see this for a long time.
I do have another question if you guys want to touch on that. I know the Oscar and Grammys and everything's over, but it was last weekend, so it's still fresh to talk about. What is your take on Stacey Dash appearing on the Oscar stage?
What was the point of that, yo?
No, that was funny.
It was funny, but what was the point?
Right. I wasn't watching it.
I
didn't watch it. I saw an excerpt on like Facebook, and I was like, "Is this real?" And then I heard people talking about it, but she definitely let them play her. Like, I don't know.
It was so funny, but even besides that, it's just the faces of the people actually in Hollywood and see how disconnected they are to the average person.
Right.
Because they didn't get the reference whatsoever.
Right.
The only person that I saw in the reference was The Weeknd. He was the only person. And he was like, whoa, I can't believe she actually agreed to this. Right? So it just shows how disconnected Hollywood is, especially us, like black people in Hollywood, how disconnected they are to just us because how disrespectful Stacey Dash was to us.
Right.
Yeah, it's a lot of disrespect.
I just think it's so funny.
They definitely. I want to say that I think Chris Rock was actually genius for that because it's like, okay, he put her on stage. Just to me, it's like just to show like we don't care about you and they don't care about you either.
Exactly.
You know,
you gotta think about it. Right. What was her benefit of that? She must have got paid or something.
And that's what it is.
Is she really losing at the end of the day? It's gonna affect her career.
You're losing it.
You know that. You already know that she's paid by the other people. Nah, she really. I mean, she lost in our community, probably yes. But you know she's already paid. She's like on what, Fox now or whatever? She's getting that money from, that's what I'm saying. But
you done sold yourself. It's
she
like,
didn't do that. Because really before she was doing whatever she was doing, she wasn't relevant anymore.
Right.
What was she, what do you know her from? How many years ago was that?
I don't understand how the very people that got her where she is, she's going against. Because Stacey, what's her name? Stacey. Yeah. I'm sorry, yeah, she did all kinds of little cute black movies. You know, she was. Well, that wasn't a black movie, but
she was on the game.
It shouldn't be a BET. It shouldn't be a BET Awards. Okay, it shouldn't be a Country Music Awards. It shouldn't be it shouldn't be none of that.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be a Women's History Month. It shouldn't be nothing. Nobody should be acknowledged if that's the case.
I don't think that we're gonna see her in any acting roles anytime soon because of one, the only acting role she was getting was in black movies, and now I think she hurt herself from getting those, and nobody knows her in white Hollywood, so she's not gonna get. I don't think her career is gonna go that far right now. Yeah.
We're gonna get out of here, you know what I mean? The ignorance is real. You feel what I'm saying? On different levels. But we're gonna get out of here, man. We appreciate y'all for plugging in. You know what I mean? Shout out to our guest, Sonya Lindsay Killa the Poet. Make sure y'all follow them on Instagram. Make sure y'all go get the book. Where can they get the book at again?
Amazon.com.
Amazon.com. Penetration for the mind.
Yes, it's available on ebooks for your Kindle as well as paperback.
18 and up.
Yes.
All right, we out. We see y'all next Saturday, man. Peace. Here.
That was fun.
Thank you.
Real big with DJ Contest is down, you get electrocuted.
Any of you ladies want to get a copy? I have some copies with me. They're $10 and cash or debit cards.
Round and round, you know how I get down. When that ass clap, I like the sound. Up and down, round and round, up and down, round and round. No I get down, you about to dance, it's pouring down. Up and down.
We out. Thanks for tuning in.